Are your promotions producing the best results? Would you like a greater response on your print and social media efforts and simple ideas that work? In this training, you will learn tried and proven tips you'll be able to apply immediately. Marketing is fundamental to the success of our clubs and districts. This special session is tailored to help us with any marketing and promotion that we do inside and outside of Toastmasters. As a result of this session, you will be able to identify who your markets are and how to reach them. You will understand what your readers need, and you will determine what elements are best placed where in the layout and why. Yes, you can still be creative while respecting TI branding and attract guests and new members to your events. It's my privilege to serve as your special guest presenter for this Region 12 marketing training. If we've not met, I'm Sheryl Roush. I have over 33 years as a professional speaker, over 45 years in graphic design, marketing, publishing, printing, photography. I've owned 5 graphic design studios in the United States, specifically San Diego, California, and I'm now based in central New York of the US. From Toastmasters International, I received 4 newsletter design awards. It was known as the Top 10 Bulletin Contest. And on this topic alone, I've presented over 3,000 marketing seminars live in 12 countries, plus virtual presentations. I've also published 5 books on this particular topic. So to tell you a little bit about me, I joined Toastmasters in 1987 during a club speechcraft series. And here's a list of some of my accomplishments. And my favorite thing to tell you is that when you work this program works. So whatever reasons that you joined, I sure hope that you are maximizing your membership and you promote that to your members as well. I'm proud to say I was the youngest woman to earn Toastmasters Elite Accredited Speaker designation back in 1993. I am a 17-time published author, and the Solid Gold Newsletter Design book that you see pictured here is created for VP of Membership, PR, public relation officers, and public relation managers. It became a marketing course book at the University of Ottawa in Canada, and it was also sold through the Toastmaster catalog at one point. I'm also the very proud and humble author of the TI sanctioned Heart of a Toastmaster book, which received the Best Anthology Award from the International Book Awards. True stories by 135 members, including our international president, Margaret Page. So helping you in this session to market like a pro, how to design an effective promotion. I'm Sheryl Roush. Get your handout ready. If you don't have a copy of it, then check your email. It was emailed out, and we will be referring to this throughout the session. So my very first question to you is, please complete this statement. That marketing is what? If the chat box is open, please put into the chat box what you believe marketing to be, especially as it relates to Toastmasters. Well, here's my definition, that marketing is getting the word out. We are the solution to their problem. If you think back to why you originally joined Toastmasters, perhaps you were facing a fear or someone said you needed leadership skills. For me, I wanted to be able to give my employees proper feedback that we could take care of our clients in my graphic design studios. Well, I was also taught to treat my elders with respect, and each of my employees was older than myself. I joined to learn how to be a better boss, which would be leadership in my own community. I had no idea that it would also lead my journey to becoming a professional international speaker and trainer. And I am so thankful to this organization. So here's what we're looking at. In Toastmasters, we actually have more than one market. The 2 most clearly defined are, first of all, internally. This would be with our current members, the events that we're promoting in-house. The second, which is absolutely critical that we apply the skills used in this session, are to attract people from outside of Toastmasters. Current non-members probably never have been a member. These are the gold mine. It's our potential guests and our members. Everything that you learn in this session, you'll be able to apply and transfer from internal and external, from Toastmasters and into other events, products, and services that you choose to promote. Thank you to each person who had submitted samples for this presentation. Thank you. Kicking us off from District 90 is Joanne Keevers. Thank you, Division Webmaster. There are, again, two different types of messaging that we provide. So you'll see these yellow tags that say whether it's an internal or an external. Based on what I've deemed it to be, I deem this changeover dinner to be an internal message. So specifically for District 90 and their changeover of officers on that. An external message would be something like on our website from District 70, where this is clearly directed to non-members, potential guests, potential members. Really well done. So that gives you a quick overview. We'll take a deeper dive into this. On page 2 inside of your handout, now let's understand what our readers need. And this information is based on the American Library Association. It's the current statistics that I have. So I may not have it for your specific country. However, you'll understand the point that I'm making here using these particular statistics. There are 3 reading groups as they look at something in print and online: non-readers, avid readers, and skimmers. The very first percentage is 10 to 15% are non-readers who require simple words and text and respond very well to photographs and visuals, numbers in the layouts. They need to see it. The second group matches the first percentage, but is the opposite, because the 10 to 15% of avid readers read everything provided. They need all the facts, details, statistics. And when it comes to the graphic design, they prefer the more conservative layouts. They're serious readers, just give me the stuff, not the fluff. 70 to 80% of us, though, are called skimmers. We scan and browse through the text. We appreciate great graphic design, the photos, the color. We love those progressive layouts and things that just really pop. What we need to do here then is to address all 3 of these reading groups. And how we do that is with the research by David Ogilvy in his book, Confessions of an Advertising Man, tried and proven these 3 stages of marketing communication. The very first of which, and each of these need to be in this specific order or we miss the mark. Stage 1 is relevance. The question that the readers are asking themselves is, well, should I read it, file it, toss it, click out, click away, recycle it? We need to help them answer the question of WIIFM. What's in it for me? The time available for us to help the reader establish relevance is very brief. It's only 1 to 7 seconds, which means that what we place where into the layout needs to be quite strategic to maximize that messaging. Stage 2, based on how well that we have met the first stage of relevance, is now confirmation. The question that the reader is asking here now is, was I correct? And they want to prove themselves correct. That does it relate to me? Yes. The time available in stage 2 is longer. Now it's up to 90 seconds in length. And this is where maybe the avid readers become skimmers, they skim, they go back to being an avid reader. And when it comes to making decisions, by the way, the avid reader will take longer time. The skimmers are quick decision makers and instantly click that link to register for the event. Stage 3 now is action, also known as call to action. The question that the reader's asking themselves here is, okay, it's relevant, I've confirmed it, check, check, tick, tick. What do I do now? The time available is ALAN, which stands for as long as needed, based on the 3 different reading groups. Now, how does this get placed into a layout? Let's take a look at the vertical design here. And here's the explanation of what goes where. Tied into these key concepts, relevance is always placed toward the top of the layout. And I'll give you ideas of how you can utilize that to really grab people's attention, just like capturing them in the beginning of a speech. Stage 2 of confirmation is the majority of the layout, which also provides all of the details that they might need, registration information, all of that. The call to action needs to be placed at the bottom portion of the layout. This is true if you're also doing social media posters, as this other example too. So the call to action and action, that could also be where the logo gets placed. Let's take a closer look at this. On page 3 inside of your handout, this is where you get to sketch your ideas. And I believe that it's best that we hand draw out a sketch on the paper, smaller size, as in these thumbnails, before we even go over to the computer. As soon as we do, we boot up the computer, we're thinking, okay, what software am I going to be using to design this? And by the way, these concepts translate into any software program you're using. So that does not matter. Don't get hung up on, well, what do you use? Don't get hung up on that. Sketching out your ideas, start with pen and pencil. Then put into place what would be relevant questions that address their pain. That's my favorite because it implies immediate relevance to the reader. It captures their attention and brings them right into that particular marketing piece. Confirmation could include the benefits to the reader, the guest, or the member. Definitely bullet points. And if you can, use a short list of bullet points of benefits. How are they going to be better for having attended this particular session? So whether it's a club officer training, Toastmaster Leadership Institute, a speech craft, and I recommend using bullet points in odd numbers. So 3 or 5 with a maximum of 7. All the details, the cost, location, virtual, any information regarding the event also gets placed in the confirmation area and information about the hosting organization. If it's your area, your division, your district, that information goes into the confirmation area. We have a tendency to place it up at the top. That's okay for an internal marketing piece. However, we're going to take a look at some alternatives to that too that would be even more effective and generate greater results for us. And then the call to action in the bottom section. That is typically the best place for the Toastmaster logo. We need to establish relevance that yes, this is important to you before we put who we are up at the top. You'll see great examples of this throughout the program. Action to take could be email, what's the telephone, the website, the link, register today. And we want to create a sense of urgency. So you'll see good examples of that as we go through the program. Feel free to capture a screenshot of this. This is one of the flyers that I created. And it was an internal event. This is a flyer promoting a district webinar that I conducted a couple of years ago. And notice that the questions are up at the top. The questions that name their pain. Then there's a soft statement of what to do, attend this engaging how to. How to implies relevance to the reader. Oh, I'm going to learn how to do that. Okay. Then the logo, who the hosting organization is, that's the confirmation area. So the questions and the attend this engaging is the relevance area for less than 7 seconds to grab their attention. Then we can proceed. And this flyer is designed using Toastmaster fonts, colors, branding, and images. So I'm demonstrating exactly what to do. How to is the best title according to Meeting Professionals International, especially when we are promoting an event or a training course. If not the title to the event, the subtitle will be fantastic. And there's 3 bullet points using a check mark list because a check marks implies here's how you will discover proven tips to grab attention, know what is needed, identify branding, and then the date, the information, the website. No pre-registration was required for this one. Log in to see the visuals. And then more of, so that's the call to action above where I put the longer bio information. The avid readers will read all of that, by the way. The skimmers, quick decision makers, they don't need to know perhaps about the presenter. They know that, oh, I need to design a speech contest flyer. I better attend this. Again, this is an internal flyer for members to attend a webinar. Thank you, District 72, from your website, wonderfully promoting the benefits of the organization. This is an external reach. So build confidence, learn techniques, captivate your audience. And each one has a second statement underneath it. Really well done. District 112 on your website, I snagged 3 pickies and text on this. There it is. What is in it for you? Could not be any more straightforward. Really well done. Grow confidence and self-belief. Most people join Toastmasters, and all the research indicates is that we join, first of all, to gain confidence. The second, to speak in front of an audience. And today, if we are not promoting how to practice and feel confident utilizing virtual platforms, we're missing the mark. We may be going back to hybrid. Yes, we may be going back to in person, and some of your clubs may, but if you are not promoting the virtual presentation practice platform, you're missing out on members that would join, because everyone needs to be doing it. And virtual is not going away. The second is about entrepreneurs and professionals. Again, more benefits there. And why Toastmasters? And I love this, District 112, that you have a photo of your people. Whenever you can, use photos of your people having fun. Look at the smiles on their faces. So again, promote the benefits. People don't join because there are X amount of programs and pathways. No, they join for how they are going to benefit in their personal and professional lives as a result of working the program. That's what we're selling. Benefits, not features. So let's take a look at some of those samples. And again, thank you for all which were submitted. And I might even surprise you with a few that I did my own research and snagged them from the internet. So thank you very much. District 17, beautifully done with the website. Become the speaker and leader you want to be. That is straightforward. Love it that it has the 3 bullet points there. Again, what are the benefits? Overcome, build your speaking skills, grow as a leader, new members welcome. I feel welcome just looking at that. Yeah. Okay, District 17 also on your website, beautiful promotion for Speechcraft. And as you heard in my introduction story, I joined originally during a Speechcraft program. I am here nearly 35 years later. If you are not currently using Speechcraft to build your clubs and start new clubs, this is the #1 membership building tool designated by World Headquarters. It works. Every program that I've conducted for Speechcraft has recruited 10 to 14 new members, and over 85% of them are still active in the organization. So if you're starting a club or you're having a special event or an open house, consider starting a Speechcraft program, which is now completely digital, set up through World Headquarters. Then start having a Speechcraft course that launches 2 weeks later. Use that special event, the open house, to draw people in to enroll for your Speechcraft. Really well done on this, and consider having the tuition to be either 6 months or a full year of their membership dues in addition to the tuition for the course. My tip here is that and thank you, District 69, because both your Facebook and your website are what I consider to be congruent, that the designs match. I also appreciated that District 69, you put what your territories are. So logically, geographically, I can take a look at it and then I can easily click to find a club. So, what Be Congruent means here is across your social media platforms, your website, your Facebook, your Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, TikTok, whatever across the board needs to have the same look. That way I know it's you, which also supports our global branding. So District 69, and let's see, thank you. I believe this, oh, sorry, your name didn't come up here, but I thank you for this submission. It's an internal flyer. Oh, yes, thank you. Cameron Crook, thank you. Thank you, PRM from District 69. This is an internal document. And Cam, you said for me to go ahead and just really break it down and give you some tips because I know you do a lot of designs for this. So the very first tip that I would do is to have a smaller Toastmaster logo. And here's a great way to check design. Pull back from the screen or whatever the image is, and then squint your eyes. Squint your eyes to see what are the large dominating elements in that particular layout. And the Toastmaster logo, then you have the large colored circles, and those are dominating the layout. Yet, let's put a pyramid of priority onto this. I'm looking for what's in it for me. Right now, it's about the area director is warmly inviting me to attend a council meeting and the speech contest. All right, now our general impression, I'm just going to call it here, is that we think that our council meetings are boring. Well, maybe they are. However, that's not the point of this particular presentation. I love how there's been food that's been added to this, and it looks like some entertainment. So we have keynote speakers, we have humorous speech contest, evaluation contest, international. This sounds more like fun. I would promote more fun on this. It's great that you also have the Toastmaster clubs for the area. So up at the top, instead of area council, blah, 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 let's change that. Let's change that to have some more fun up there, eat and be entertained. And then let's modify the placement of a couple of elements. For instance, let's remove the clubs from the very top because it's the smallest area, yet this is for them. Let's put them instead into the gray circle. And then what was where the location is, let's pull that into the maroon circle instead, complete with the QR code. So I think you did great on this camera. Those would be the tweaks that I would suggest. District 70, Mitzi, thank you very much, PQD. So we have one of our, well, matter of fact, our runner-up world champion of public speaking. So this is an internal messaging. It's an open forum. Everything about it applies to members. It does look fun. And it's the Friday Focus, which is one of 3 specific programs that District 70 has on ongoing, which is great to bring in non-members as well as to support current members, and especially in these virtual times. So this looks very fun, and captured a great photo of him during that. All right, District 70, thank you for your social media campaign. So these are different slides that were produced either in Canva or in PowerPoint. And if it wasn't for Toastmasters, it's kind of like answer the following question. These are great testimonials. We have another one here too from District 72. So Mark Christian, thank you very much, VP Ed of your club. And again, these he designed in PowerPoint and submitted them. Mark, I'm going to give you some ideas as we go through the program of how you can spice this up a little bit. And we're also going to want to observe branding from world headquarters. Not bad, really good start. When I look at things, they often only need a tweak where it's a slight modification. It's not like, okay, nope, it's no good, start over. No, usually it's just change just a couple of things. District 73, Neha, you're doing a great job with all of these promotions. So the social media series, and you have quite a few of these. I selected a couple of these for demonstration, and thank you for doing a makeover on this one. In the skills that you learned from this particular role, notice that these are numbered in a list, then they are centered. The graphic design rule is that whenever you have a list of numbered items, they must be aligned left instead. Now, the flip side of that coin is that if they are not numbered, yes, you can center them. It's either or. That's just a minor modification right there. And these are for job seekers, really well done. How would you utilize Toastmasters? And here are 10 different examples of this, really well done. And when you can, replace the staged photos, or it's fine to be using the ones from the brand portal, replace them with people of your own clubs or your areas or your divisions and district in this particular case. Here's another one about sharpening the soft skills. And that's why trainers are being hired right now, is specifically to help people refresh their soft skills in the workplace. Your Toastmaster clubs help people do that. Create marketing to non-members, potential members who are re-entering the workplace, or that they're going back into a hybrid situation. This is a perfect time to be marketing the skills that we've been learning to these people who know nothing about us. We are still, as we've pretty much chuckled about it for years, yet it is true that Toastmasters is the best kept secret. Let's not keep it a secret. Let's really make a statement and let people know we are here for you. If you need to sharpen your presentation skills, practice time management, learn how to give constructive feedback to people, this is the place to learn in a safe, supportive environment. Selma, thank you very much for your samples. District 87, thank you. This is an internal image, and it was created in Canva. Here it is, Canva for Toastmasters. So thank you very much. And because it is internal, yes, the logo can go up at the top. How you might consider modifying this slightly is confused on how to use Canva to promote Toastmasters? Question mark. I'd suggest putting that in the headline and moving the district information toward the bottom. You do have strong social media, and thank you that it is on everything that I see, and that people can use the QR code to scan and to register. Probably ask a couple more questions in there. And how do you comply with Toastmasters branding using Canva? And it's actually quite simple. I have watched a couple of these programs, really well done. So thank you for that. Here's another example. This is internal. Again, it's the district council meeting. A good photo. Again, if you can, and this might even be virtual at this particular point for Malaysia and Indonesia, as well as Brunei, that they could very well be virtual at this time. Then maybe have a virtual gallery back there, and maybe ask a couple of questions in the headline. Again, the perception is that these council meetings are boring. Well, ask a question, something that's going to bring people in. What's going to be relevant to them? The same with the district executive council meeting. And let's put a more accurate photo there now that we can. There's nothing wrong with the photos that have been used, especially if you are meeting in person. However, if we need to demonstrate what is the reality right now, and I'm guessing that it's going to be more virtual. Again, ask another question. I remember when, as a club president, I was invited to the council meetings, and then as an area director, and then as a division director, and I thought, what's in it for me to go? Well, yes, we go because there's valuable information that we need to learn. However, yeah, kind of spice it up a little bit. Give me some incentive to go, that it could be like gift certificates to the Toastmasters store for the first 10 people who arrive. Have some fun with it. You can do that. Good incentives. And Selma, thank you for this too. And I acknowledge that your district has 3 languages in it. So thank you very much for this. So you have Bahasa, you have Mandarin, as well as English. And it's beautiful to see how consistent then the marketing is for the internal messaging for the different languages for the same events. So thank you, really, really well done on this. District 90, Joanne, back to you. And I love this, that you're using, are you looking to the image on Google My Business? So this is really well done. Are you looking to, and there's 4 bullets. Let's consider either going 3 or 5 next time. However, that's it. That's a template. This is great. And then you do have great questions there. Thinking of improving your communication skills. Yes. Want to enhance your leadership skills. Yes. Want to learn how to add humor to my speeches. Oh, yes. That is a great example of using questions that create relevance and confirmation for the reader. Come and see for yourself as a visitor at one of our meetings, And, okay, so great external messaging. District 90 for your website. This is a portion of the website which is clearly external. I love how well this is done. Look at all of those bullet points. And then talking about the Speechcraft program. Now, where I have the external tag over there, if it were to be removed, you would see where members can upload into the website what their next upcoming course is and actually be registered for it. So courses are coming up online, click here for details. And then it does have information there about Toastmasters International and what type of organization that we are. And by the way, we are a non-profit organization, which is different than a not-for-profit organization. This is really well done. Keep going with that. So here's what I did, and I love doing this. You've already seen one of my design makeovers for District 69. So then I did a couple more in here of just minor modifications to give you some ideas. As an external, Mark Christian, thank you very much, for District 72. This is a pretty good, it's pretty good. Now, if we pull back though, and if we squint at it, the name of the club and the meeting information dominates even more because of its size than the question that reaches me. Do you want to speak confidently? Yes. So then it's about we can help you about the club every second and fourth and all of that. I love that it has photos, and of course it could be seasonal where you have a Santa's hat or whatever. So here's a couple of ideas that you might consider. Here I modified the layout and pulled the photos of the people higher up to the question instead of having them toward the bottom. Then it still has a we can help you at the club information. So then I modified that a little bit more by making the club information smaller. Those are minor modifications. Real easy to do. So Mark, I hope that was helpful for you. Here's an example from outside of Region 12 with District 116 in Qatar. And it's an external. I was asked to judge a contest for, well, a couple of districts have me judging flyers that are being submitted for an actual flyer and social media competition, which is, I think, pretty novel. And there's a strict criteria that it must match the branding. For Qatar, it also needed to have the 25th anniversary for the district. So this is the first image. It has a lot of good things working for it. Now, join us at open house does not work. Join us is about us. If it's external, we need to remove the banner at the top because that's all about us. We need to put the non-member first and create relevance. That is prime real estate area up at the top. Open house, people are kind of concerned about, well, what's an open house? And I would suggest calling it a special event instead, or a free seminar. A free seminar attracts people. It does have, why should you attend, with bullet points. There's 5 bullet points, well done there. And then they have more meeting information, the passcode for which is great. So here's what I did with it. Using their same pieces of copy blocks. So I did not remove any of the color blocks. I just moved things around. It could be further modified by taking text out of the blocks and opening it up a little bit more for the white space. I put the question that they had that was down in the middle of the layout up at the top. Great question. And from a statement into a question. Are you ready to move from lack of confidence to being a confident public speaker? Before and after photos. They work. They work. This is how nervous that I look. This is how confident that I become. And then I added gain more confidence every second and fourth Sunday of the month. When you add exclamation points behind the text, it creates some emphasis. So it is using italic type. Italics creates emphasis. Bold italic font creates action. Continue to use bullet points. So in the chat box, if you would, how are you going to implement these marketing tips and ideas presented so far? And there's still more to this session. Perhaps you will start sketching out your ideas with pencil on the sketch pad before going to the computer. Perhaps changing statements into questions that identify how they might be feeling or thinking or need to improve upon. Or rearranging where the elements are placed in the layout. If you take one technique that's been explored just this far inside of this program, you will see improved results. Here's a makeover from Region 12. Thank you, Kayleen, our region advisor. The image on the left was the very first that she created in Canva. And I pointed out to her, if the photo were in the bottom right-hand corner, as in the right design, it helps to balance the logo in the upper left-hand corner. It also has how the image and the pose of my photo then brings you into reading the text on the left. The image on the left, although the photo could be used over there, it seems awkward and the design feels heavy toward the left side of the image. By just modifying it, and we put the marketing is fundamental to success in our clubs and districts in the spot color of yellow, it also helps the design pop. Well done, Kayleen. And thank you for being open for suggestions on that. Also in your handout, there are helpful worksheets, and these are loaded to help you with any event you may be planning. So the first question is, what is your event and who is it for? I'll skim these pages with you, and here's how I suggest you use them. Use one of these sets, page 4 and page 5, for any event that you are planning or that you know you will be planning. It may be a speech contest, maybe a TLI. And then up at the top, then actually name what that event is so that you have this for that particular project. Then external, is it a public event? Or internal, is it for club, area, division, district, region? And it might be something that I missed. However, these are things that I'm thinking of straight away that you might be using for internal marketing, business meeting, open house, special event, whatever that you might choose to. If it has a theme already determined, then you can place it there. And what is the date of your particular event? Then identify your market. Who is your ideal attendee, potential member, current member? Who precisely do you want to attract? This is the entire key to marketing, is to know who it is going to be for and what is the call to action you want them to take. Then you create the message to match. Number 2, what are their pains or their needs? If you're addressing fears or the key problems, issues, or challenges, and then what are the benefits to them? Why should they attend? Which goes back to our council meetings. What's in it for them? Then, as our Golden Gavel Award recipient, Dr. Stephen Covey, wrote in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, begin with the end in mind. Who are they? What's in it for them? Why should they care? Why should they attend? Today, it's not even the cost of what things are, it's the time and energy involved. And then there's check boxes there for building your event. And over on to page 5, additional check boxes, tick boxes, if you will, for worksheet, making sure that you have everything, including the time zones, UTC as well as local, anything else that they might need to know, because if we miss anything, the avid readers will be the first to reach out to us and ask those questions. Oh, it's a gift. Thank you. So whenever they do ask the questions, thank them kindly and make sure to update your marketing on that particular event. Design elements, make sure to use a Toastmaster logo, internal and external. I can't think of anything that we are promoting that should not have the Toastmaster logo on it, and registration details as well. So keep these handy and use them as a worksheet. And let's talk about Toastmasters branding. You can download the brand manual and be mindful of when revisions do come out. This one just came out in May. And here's the link, toastmasters.org/resources/brand-manual on that. And here's a couple of points that I want to make on this. District 87, thank you very much for having a video made that answers a question, can a club have their own club logo? Straight away, the answer is no. Period. Mic drop. End of sentence. Full stop. All clubs should work together as a team to adhere to the brand portal and communicate one consistent Toastmasters identity. So thank you. No, clubs may not. Let's take a closer look at those. Regarding the logos, as the samples on the left, check marks indicate yes of what you can use. On the right are all of those no, we cannot. And we cannot get fancy. We cannot bring other things into the layout, including this one I saw recently. Yes, we're very proud when we earn President's Distinguished. It's truly an honor. However, this breaks branding protocol. And the maroon is not a maroon, it's a brownish terracotta. No, this breaks branding. So we want to be really careful with that. We have a beautiful color palette that I believe this was created during International President Pat Johnson's term. And it was created by Sasha Strauss, who was hired from USC, University of Southern California. He's absolutely a wizard at branding. A lot of research went into this. It is mindful for us to use our color palette with our primary colors called True Maroon, Loyal Blue, Cool Gray, and Happy Yellow as an accent color. Whether you are working in print or online, those are each of the codes or the recipe for each particular color. And the brand portal and the brand manual also give us suggestions and ideas of how to use these as transparencies as well as shades and screens. Back to District 116, I love how the shading has been used. This is a really well-designed external layout. The layout is referred to as a scholar's margin grid, where it's originally a 2-column or a 3-column grid, and 2 of the columns have been combined in the left to create a wider column. This is considered a progressive design. It's external because as I'm reading it, like you could, is whether you're a Toastmaster, working professional, a student, a stay-at-home market, or a retiree, they've identified who this is for. And then they give us reasons. Toastmaster Club meetings can help you conquer the fear of public speaking and learn skills. You will listen better, more easily lead, comfortably give and receive evaluations. All of this beautifully done, and with our slogan, where leaders are made. This is well done. Feel free to capture a screenshot. Well done. Again, external, yes, it has the club information up at the top. It could be, I hear you thinking, it could be that that goes towards the bottom of the layout. Yes, and questions are asked in the place of where that club information is. Yes, and it could be ready to conquer the fear of public speaking, question mark. Need to learn skills that will help you be more successful, question mark. Yes, those would be great modifications to that. Here's a couple of tips regarding images and photography, and this is from page 20 of the brand manual. And the area that I want to draw your attention to is right here. Stay away from images that do not connect Toastmasters environment. Do not use cartoons, illustrations, or clip art created for clubs, areas, divisions, and regions. Do not use cartoons, for there's several legal reasons not to do that. And we are not a cartoony type of organization. We do have protocol and etiquette, and we serve personal and professional needs. The next tip about image and photography, you have these that you can download. They're available. It's really well done. So when you do use photos, make certain that if people are looking in the photo, say for instance, in the bottom right-hand corner, the woman is looking at her coworker or fellow member, this is an ideal placement for that particular photo to be placed on the right. At the top center where the gentleman is holding a microphone, he could be either placed in the center. However, an actual layout, that photo would be placed best on the left-hand side of the layout, because whatever they are looking at, implied or actual, we will also look at in real life photos, in real life layouts. Then be mindful of what are they looking at, and then play with the layout to see how they would work best. I love this for the virtual conference for District 70. The only photo I would have modified here, making my point just a minute ago, is that my colleague, accredited speaker Freddie, her photo could be best placed on the right. Now, based on Prez or Mike Storkey, our past international president, or Gary Schmidt, past international president, one of those three could have replaced Freddie's photo. They just could have been exchanged, and that would have been more dynamic. Now, look at Greg Van Borsum, accredited speaker. Then his photo could be anywhere over there on the right. Look at that look in his eyes. Yep, world-class martial artist and bodybuilder and movie producer. Amazing. All right, so fonts, these are our brand fonts, Gotham and Myriad Pro. I was able to find them on the internet and be able to download them for free, that I do use throughout any of my marketing that I do for Toastmasters specifically. You can also download the free alternative fonts. So Montserrat is one of those, and Source Sans Pro. Let's see, Arial also used to be one of our defaults. You want Myriad Pro is the one that I consistently use, Gotham and Myriad Pro. These are the fonts that we want to be using. So we want to be careful using fonts which are not in our designated protocols. Here's what we've learned in this session. You've identified who your different markets are, internal and external, and ideas on how to reach them. Again, match the message to the market. You also understand what your readers need and where it needs to be placed, because you've determined what elements are placed where in the layout and why. As a result of this marketing training, I'm guessing that you will never look at a marketing piece ever the same way again. You will probably never design a piece ever the same way again. Now, keep in mind you have a lot of support, as in this example from District 87, from the Extended Public Relations Manager team. You're not alone in this, and feel free to reach out as well to International Director Leslie, to our Region Advisor Kayleen, and to each other as your own district directors and your district teams. Share your examples, get feedback from each other, and together, let's continue to be the solution to the problem of why people need Toastmasters, because marketing is what we can do to bring in more guests, more non-members into our supportive environment, that their lives can also be changed